How long does probate take after someone passes away? This is a question that we get all the time, and the answer is straightforward and yet not straightforward. I know, spoken like a true lawyer. So how long does probate take is really going to depend on the situation. And I wanted to let people know this all the time. When people call and say, you know, my brother, my spouse, my whoever passed away last night, probate is not something that you have to jump on right away. I tell people, we can do it right away, but take your time. Grieve. Look after your family or the family of the deceased person. Make sure that everyone is doing okay. We can start the probate process anytime, whether it's a day after or a year after. Now, you don't want to leave it too long because some of the beneficiaries can start getting a little antsy because they want the estate to be settled. But if the beneficiaries are all on the same page and they want to wait 2 years, that's okay. We're here to help when you're ready. But let's say someone passes away and now you want to start doing the probate process. The process is going to depend on a number of things. One, do they have a will or they don't? A will gets probated. If there's no will, who gets what is set by the government in terms of an intestate. And that's done by way of it's what's called a letters of administration. Basically the same process, different name, different forms. They're similar, but process-wise about the same. Typically, processing an estate would take 3, 4, 5 months on a simple estate. Now we have a new electronic program, and that program has been fantastic, and now we're looking at usually 2, 3 weeks, sometimes 4, sometimes 10 days. We can use the new program for French languages, but some things will take you out of that process. So maybe the will is done in another language, or maybe there's beneficiaries or the executor, personal representative who lives out of country. There are some situations that we just can't do the electronic process, and that's still taking months in terms of getting probate. So when someone says, how long probate going to take? We don't know. And even if we have the exact same probate submitted at different times, it might take a week 1 month and 2 or 3 weeks the next. We don't know how long it's going to take. Now, these are relative general probate times in terms of how long it takes, but you have some estates that are very, very complex, and it can take a year. And on really usually large estates with lots of assets that are unusual, it can take even longer. Now, there is a process called a limited grant to probate, and if we need to get someone in charge right away to be able to manage the estate, we do that. We get a court order that lets that person manage the estate, and then the assets are going to sit in the estate until the rest of probate's finished. It's a great process, so we can move fairly quickly when we need to. Process isn't that expensive. The court fees aren't that expensive in Alberta, which is nice. We don't have this big estate tax for doing probate that's 1-2% like other provinces. But you want to make sure that you know what you're doing. This is a general guideline for where things are at in terms of how long it takes to probate an estate.